Maybe your healing and your self-improvement isn't working the way that you want to because the idea that you have of yourself, of who you would be once you start to heal, isn't an actual person because it's actually wrapped up in fake discipline and perfectionism. And you're pretty much just telling yourself that if you gave yourself some love right now, if you gave yourself grace, if you gave yourself compassion, if you humanized yourself, then you would go back into self-sabotaging behaviors. You wouldn't be able to do the things that you need for yourself. You can't love yourself too much because then you'll take advantage of yourself. But have you ever thought to actually give yourself a little bit of grace and start to understand those different parts of you that are trying to protect you? Because that's why we self-sabotage. It's our own maladaptive way of trying to cope with all the stresses that we have in our day-to-day, and recognize your own needs and your own things that you need to accommodate. Start to learn how to accommodate those specifically for who you are, and learn to live a life and go after the goals that you want for yourself through means that actually work for you, and not just stuff that you saw while you were scrolling at 1 a.m. or things that people tell you that you should be doing for yourself, or that's the way that things are accomplished. Learning to show up for yourself, learning to make space for yourself, learning to love who you are right now and be appreciative of who you are right now, while recognizing and appreciating and making peace with the different ways that you learned to cope and all the things that you had to do to survive to get to the point that you're at now, instead of constantly criticizing yourself and shaming yourself for your past. And actually learning to like who you are in your present moment, because that's the only moment that you actually have, and the idea that you're suddenly going to be okay with yourself, or you're suddenly going to love yourself in the future, is really just kind of wild. Because how are you just going to suddenly do that overnight if you don't build the skill right now of starting to like yourself and starting to be present in your life and starting to be content in your life? You're just suddenly going to wake up whenever you get that job, that person, to that goal weight, you're suddenly going to like yourself. Or maybe that would actually cause you to spiral, because you'd wake up finally getting all the things that you said that you wanted, but you're not going to be happy because you didn't take the time to actually appreciate who you were when you were doing all that. I don't know, just something to think about. So anyway, my name is Sarah. I'm your favorite self-experimenting coach or companion, and I help get people reacquainted with who they most authentically are. You're an amazing person, and I hope you have the best day.